Okay, hello, and welcome to the Kate Weaver YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about my hair. A hair just fell out of me. So it has officially been about a year and some change since I shaved my head. I'm going to take you with me, and we're going to do a little walk down memory lane, and we're going to look at Kate's hair lookbook from the past year since I shaved my head. I had a different look every month. It was like new month, new me. I felt like I got to like customize my own avatar, but IRL, and like life was going on and I was just in charge of the outfits and the hair, and it was fun. It was like customizing my own me. We me. Okay, so before I shaved my head, I had this beautiful long hair and I was living my life. And then New Year's came around and I was like, new year, new me. I chopped it at the shoulder, and at that point, like, I knew that I wanted to shave my head. And so I set the date and I was like, I'm shaving my head on this day, and I chose during spring break because I didn't want to be around a lot of people because I knew it would take me some time to get used to it. So I did it at like the very beginning of spring break, so I'd have like a week to get used to before I went back to school. The night before I shaved my head, I was like, okay, I know I'm probably going to be feeling like a little ugly duckling when I shave my head, so I'm going to have one last hurrah. I went to the club with my friend and I had a grand old time, and then the very next morning I shaved my head. And then about a month after I shaved my head, I shaved it down a little bit shorter. I bleached it. I wanted to be even more cool, so I put like a little slit in my eyebrow. And then I entered my Slim Shady era. I'm not going to play the song, but you know the song. The I'm Slim Shady, I'm the real Shady. I don't really know the lyrics, but that shit was my anthem, bro. And I will not lie to you, this was also my bad bitch era. I was just high off of life. I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. And then after that, I kind of just let my hair grow out for a little bit. And I looked like a little fuzzball. Okay, y'all know from Horton Hears a Who, I think her name is Katie.
My world, everyone's a pony, and they all eat rainbows and poop butterflies.
That's beautiful, Katie.
That's what I looked like. So, yeah, I was a little tennis ball for a little bit. And then I was going to Spain, and so I was like, you know what? I want to change things up a little bit. So I went to my cousin, who is a hairstylist, but whenever she cut it, like, it made my brown hair show, my natural hair. And so she did it kind of like in a little V so that it wouldn't look just like a straight line across my head. I think it looked fine. And I love her. She's a great hairstylist. But I was like, it's just a little tiny bit uneven because it was like in this shape, and it just bothered me. And so later that night I went to my friend's house and I was like, hey guys, can y'all help me out a little bit and just trim it up just a tiny little bit, just even it out, right? And so my friend Alex brings out the buzzers and I'm like, okay, let's calm down. Let's take a step back. How about we start off with the scissors? Okay. And my friend Marvel, she brings out the scissors. She's like, oh yeah, I got you. I cut my other friend's hair just the other day, so I'm like a pro at this point. And she was like, yeah, I got you. Let's do this. And I was like, okay, cool. I put all of my trust and my faith in Marvel, and I was like, you got this. Okay, so she gets the scissors and she's behind me. She's like at the back of my head. She starts to cut and I just hear a and then she goes, oh fuck. And I'm like, Marvel, please tell me you did not just do what I think you just did. And she did. So she cut basically just like a square out of my head. And I was like, and Marvel, I love you, but I wanted to fight you so bad in that moment because I was leaving for Spain within the next like 2 days. So I didn't have time to go get my hair fixed. And I was like, I was really holding it back. I was like, so then we had to do something to fix it, because I wasn't just gonna have a block in my head. So Alex got out the buzzers and he like kind of lined me up as best as he could. And I went to Spain looking like that. It was really cute in the front, but the back was, I don't want to say it was horrendous, but it was horrendous. Okay. But you know what? I never saw the back of my head, so I was fine with that. And then after I got back from Spain, I was like, okay, I want my hair to be all the same color. So I got what I thought was like dark brown dye to like match my natural hair color. But it was more of like black hair dye. The way my hair was shaped, man, I looked like Coconut Head from Ned's Declassified. But then the very next day, I went and I got it shaped up, and I had a little pixie cut, and it was so cute. And so that was my pixie cut era, and I think that was like one of my cutest eras. It was really cute. I loved the pixie cut. And then from the pixie cut, I just like let it grow out. I eventually did the middle part, and now my hair is this long. Whenever I tell people that I shaved my head a year ago, they're like, oh my gosh, your hair has grown so long. I don't know. Has it? I don't know if my hair like grows fast or if this is like a normal rate for hair to grow, but it's this long now. And I actually recently got my bangs cut because I wanted to lighten it up, especially for the summer since it's really hot. So that was my lookbook. Thanks for coming down memory lane with me. It was a journey for sure. Definitely an interesting journey. So when I first shaved my head, I made a video explaining the reasons why I did it, because everyone was asking me why I did it, and I was like, hey, look, I got this video that explains exactly why, because it wasn't just one reason. It was complicated. So I made a video explaining it. So if you haven't seen that video, you should go ahead and watch it, because I go more in depth into those reasons. And really, those reasons, they were things that I wanted to come true. I guess they were kind of goals in a way. And so in this video, I'm going to explain how those goals came true through shaving my head. So the way that I see it is these reasons or goals they can be put into categories. There's some overall themes that I'm seeing with these reasons. So the first category has reasons number 1 and number 2. So this overall is like, I didn't want to fit other people's expectations of how I should look or how I should act or what I should say. And I felt like with my long hair, society had a certain mold for who I should have been. Because with my long hair, you know, I was pretty. I was like, okay, well, if I'm pretty, then that means that I can get boys to look at me. And if I want boys to look at me, then I should dress sort of skimpy. I should do my hair. I should put on makeup. I should do all this stuff so that I look a certain way for other people and specifically for guys. And since I've shaved my head, I've realized that I do not want to care about what I look like. I don't want to put in so much effort into my appearance because at heart, like, I really don't like wearing makeup every day. Like, I like wearing baggy clothes. And you know what? Some days I look like Adam Sandler. And other days I don't. And that is totally okay. As long as I'm comfortable with being myself and just being in my own skin, that's what's most important. And that's definitely 100% something that I learned when I shaved my head. Because when I shave my head, I mean, that completely goes against other people's expectations, you know? People don't really suggest like, oh, you know what you should do? You should shave your head. That would be so cute. Like, people don't say that. So I think once I was able to stop caring about what other people thought of me, it was just so freeing. And I could just really be myself. I'm just going to put a disclaimer here. I know that I have pretty privilege. I know that it comes with benefits that other people don't get. Okay, I get that. But what people don't tell you is that you get so much unwanted attention. And it's really hard to, especially when you're a young girl, to develop your emotions and like your interests and just develop as a human being. In my first video, I mentioned that I kind of have a history of relationships, situationships, whatever you want to call them. I have a history of a lot of guys wanting my attention, because I just felt like I had no space to grow. It seemed like something that I should be doing, or that society praises, you know, like, oh, being with all these different guys, you know, oh, you must be so lucky, you get so much attention from them. And so I was like, okay, so guys would give me attention, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna say no. So in the past, like, I was in and out of relationships so often that I had no idea who I was, because whoever the person I was with, I would kind of just like latch myself onto them, and that's what my personality would be for the month. I would just be whoever this person is. Like, I had no idea who I was. So I wanted to give myself the chance to just sit and just live and grow by myself, because I really needed that. And so staying single and discouraging guys from talking to me helped so much. And by being by myself, honestly, like, I was on a high. Like, I became like that independent bitch. Like, it felt so good to just be able to do things on my own, to be able to just sit with yourself and to be comfortable with yourself and to enjoy your own presence and to be satisfied with that. It's such a game changer, because at the end of the day, you're really the only person that you have. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then you're just going to depend on other people when you should really be getting happiness from yourself. So once I shaved my head, I kind of looked back on, I guess, my happiness and my satisfaction with myself. It depended so much on other people, and it definitely depended on my appearance. But when I shaved my head and I stopped caring what other people thought about me, that's when I was able to build a strong foundation of worth within myself. And it sounds so cliche, but I wanted to be beautiful from the inside and the outside. And so once I built that strong foundation, I knew that whenever I would get the validation from other people, that my happiness and my self-love wouldn't be as swayed. Wanting other people to like you for how you look is absolutely unsustainable. Because what are you going to do on days that you feel ugly? What are you going to do whenever you start to age and you start to get wrinkles and you start to not look like this perfect, pristine, hot person that society wants you to be? I wanted to detach myself, my self-worth, my person, my character from my appearance, because I know that that doesn't matter in the end. I was able to look inward and see what I really value, like my character, my personality, my hobbies, my interests, things that I like doing, things that I create and put out into the world, my connections with people. And those are the things that truly made me feel good on the inside. And of course, feeling hot, like, of course that's gonna make you feel good. But whenever that fades, it's so important to have something deeper to lean on and to look further into and to depend on those things, because those are the things that really matter. Okay, and I do want to say one last thing before we leave this section. So some guys had told me, like, later on down the road, after I had shaved my head and my hair had grown out a little bit more to kind of what it is now, this is what they said to me. They were like,
honestly, I thought it was hot whenever you shaved your head.
They thought it was hot because they know the confidence and the boldness that it takes for a person to shave their head. And confidence is the hottest thing a person can have. I noticed the way that I carried myself and how that changed once I shaved my head, especially during my Slim Shady era. I was confident as hell, and I was not going to let anyone say anything to me. I remember exactly the moment that I realized that my mindset had changed so much. I was at the gym at my university. I'm just kind of like looking at the basketball court because I'm bored or whatever. And this guy is like looking at me. He's like motioning to me like he wants me to go play with him or something. And I'm like, me? Like, and he's like, yeah, come over here. And this dude, you know, he looked like an athlete. And I was like, okay, I don't usually pull these kinds of guys. So like, let's see what's going on, right? So he starts talking to me and he just like wants to get to know me, whatever. I'm just telling him like the things that I do. I was like, yeah, like these are my interests, like this is my major, these are my hobbies. And he was like, and also obviously my head was shaved. And he was like, man, like that's really cool. Like you're really cool. And in my head, I didn't say this out loud, but in my head I was like, I know. Don't have to tell me twice. I already know. And I was like, whoa. I don't even remember how I responded, but I was like, damn, I am cool. I've always wanted to be cool. I've never been cool, and now I'm cool because I think I'm cool. So I just want to put that out there, that the second that you think that you're cool and you become the most confident person in the room, that's when it's over for everyone. I promise you. The last reason that I put down was I wanted to train better for jiu-jitsu, and oh my god, my jiu-jitsu life changed so much. It was so easy because beforehand, like, I would do what we call a roll, which is like sparring, I guess. And after every roll, I would have to like pause and put my hair back up, and it was all sweaty and gross and hot, and like it was just a whole thing. But when I shaved my head, it was just like I said in my last video, man, I was aerodynamic. And even if you don't train jiu-jitsu, obviously not everyone trains Brazilian jiu-jitsu or does a sport, but your life becomes so much easier when you shave your head. When you wake up in the morning, you can just get out of bed and go. No flyaways, no hairbrush, no hair ties, nothing. You can take a shower, wash your hair, and your hair will be dry in like 5 minutes. Life is so simple with a shaved head. It is so, so simple. And if you are a girl and you have long hair, I know you have those moments where you're like,
I just want to shave it all off.
do it. Do it. You won't regret it, I promise you. Speaking of regrets, we're going to move on to the next section of the video. I absolutely do not regret shaving my head at all. It was definitely a growing experience, and it was definitely a growing experience that I needed. I could tell that I was, before I shaved my head, like, I was itching for more. Like, I knew that I had more growing to do, and shaving my head did exactly that. And honestly, I'm proud of the person that I've become since I've shaved my head, because I've changed a lot. Personally, spiritually, I would say that I'm like a completely different person than who I was before I shaved my head. And it's funny because, you know, sometimes I feel myself wanting to go back to the little more unhealthy and toxic like mentalities that I had back then. And whenever I feel that, I'm like, okay, that's long hair Kate talking. Let's like put her aside and let's listen to what we've learned and who we are now. I do regret not doing more with my shaved head. I wish that I had done like some fun colors or patterns or something, and I really wanted to, and it would have been so cute. But at the time, I was still so scared, and I was like, what are people gonna think? And like, I was just in my head about it, and I still worried about what other people thought about me, and so I didn't do it. And it would have been so freaking cute. And the other thing is that I wish that I could have appreciated each of my hair eras, my hairas more. Because it was kind of like, you know, when you get a haircut and you hate it at first, but then it kind of grows on you and you like start to like it. But it took me a really long time to like each of my eras. And like during most of it, I would be like, this is just so goddamn ugly. I'm just ugly. Like my hair is ugly. I'm ugly. I just feel ugly. But then towards the end, I'd be like, okay, this is actually kind of cute. Like I'm kind of actually rocking this. But it wouldn't be until the end that I felt like that. And so I wish that I just felt more comfortable with each phase of my growing out process. So I'm growing my hair out again, and I am really excited because I know this time, from everything that I've learned from shaving my head, I know that this time it won't have so much of the emotional baggage and the heaviness that it had before. And I think it'll feel really freeing this time. And honestly, I think it'll feel more feminine, which I'm excited for, because during my growing out process, I was very much like in my masculine energy, and I'm kind of ready to like switch it back over to my feminine energy and like have this vision. Like I just want to like have long flowy hair, and like I want to put on like some flowy dress and like run through a meadow and like pick flowers or something. So even though I am growing out my hair again, I definitely would do this again. And I recommend doing this to anyone that is looking to change things up. If you really want like freaking like exponential personal growth, if you want to challenge yourself, if you want to become like more in tune with your inner child, maybe if you're interested in exploring like masculine, feminine energy, if you feel like androgynous or non-binary or something, and especially if you want to give absolutely zero fucks about what people think of you, you should shave your head. It just did so much for me personally. So, and I just hope that it could be something that could help you along your own personal journey. And, you know, if anything, I mean, do it for the plot. Do it because it looks cool. Do it because it's badass. Just do it. You should just shave your head. So I'm going to end that there. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. I don't know. Hope maybe I've convinced you to shave your head. And if I have convinced you to shave your head, which that would be so cool if I have, you should definitely follow me on Instagram and, I don't know, post a picture about it, maybe tag me in it. That'd be really cool. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next video.